worse than I expected, and my expectations were low.
I mean, it's, again, widely regarded as one of the worst. It has a 2.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb. That is exceptionally low.
I am not surprised.
But, okay, this is clearly a Gremlins ripoff, but isn't the terror of the mind more scary than the terror of the body? Like, if you're Gremlins are gonna, maybe they'll tear you apart, or they eat you or electrocute you or whatever, but like these things are gonna like make you think you have your wildest fucking dreams, and then it's all a lie.
Yeah, but
blow yourself up or
but
fall
you
off
don't.
a stage.
Do you really care if you're dying while fulfilling or believing you're fulfilling your wildest dreams? Isn't that great?
This is the argument behind those people who f with the sex dolls. You're once again advocating for virtual reality f***ing.
Oh, okay, I see.
We discussed this in an earlier episode. We always wanted. Now, what's the difference? If you believe it in your mind, it's real, right?
Oh my god, this was not scary in any way. I would be much more scared of Gremlins than these Hobgoblins.
I'd be more scared of some of those fucking virtual reality sex dolls.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to Bad Movies and Beer. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And today for our Halloween episode, we are discussing just a legendary all-timer of a bad movie, Hobgoblins.
Yeah, what an absolute piece of shit this was. I am always really excited for our Halloween episode because it usually means we're going to watch some kind of fun and funky horror flick.
Yeah.
This was funky.
It was.
But not very fun.
I had some fun.
Okay.
I don't know. You don't find stationary, motionless fucking furry things attacking with heavy air quotes alleged teenagers funny?
I was more scared of the puppets in the Attack of the Beast creatures.
Oh, that was a tough one.
And that was a doozy. So
right, well,
here we are.
Here we are. We got a low enjoyability rating coming from Nolan in this one, apparently. But well before we get to that, before we even tackle the plot of this, just horribly misguided one-man effort, apparently, written, directed, and produced by the same guy.
Yeah.
As always, we have paired the movie with a beer. Hopefully this beer is more palatable to you than this very low-budget horror was. What are you drinking today, Noel?
Yeah, we're going to be drinking a beer called the Night Watch. And we might have to explain this a little bit. Not a whole lot, though, because the main characters in our film are night watchmen. They're on guard at an old movie studio, which houses the Hobgoblins, which are going to become the scary villains of this movie rather quickly. This is a coffee lager, which is quite interesting. It's from the Lighthouse Brewing Company. They're out of Victoria, British Columbia. They've been around for over 25 years, long time in the craft beer game. I checked out their website. Because,
OGs.
Yeah,
gotta be 25 years
they're
now,
really close to OGs for sure. They've been around. They're a family-run place, so they've been working together, making beer for a long time. Started out just as kegs for restaurants. And they said, like, 4 years into it, they started making and producing cans that they sold. This will be my first Lighthouse beer. I'm excited to have it. They make all kinds of different styles. They had a really funky Pilsner on there, some fruited Pilsner, which I thought might be interesting to try. But I'm excited to try this. They used coffee from a local coffee roaster, and they've added it to a craft lager. And apparently they're blended for some delicious and subtle flavors.
I like it. Subtle tones of hazelnut, cinnamon, and chocolate. Yeah,
that sounds really good. I'm hoping that this makes talking about this movie an easier ride. I think it will. I think it's going to be pretty palatable, more so than the movie which we just watched.
I don't think it'll be hard to talk about the movie, but I guess we'll find out. Why don't we open these up and see?
Yeah.
Well, despite your kind of tepid prologue here, we go right into the action immediately. No fade in, no opening credits, just an exterior shot of that old movie studio and an even older night watchman shuffling up to a guard booth. Get used to seeing that, Noel. This old fucker's going to be shuffling all over the place. Hopefully while some ominous synth music plays.
Oh my God. We're going to have so much screen time of this old dude shuffling down hallways. It's fantastic.
Repeated shots in some cases.
Yeah,
just the
that's
same
true.
shot. Yeah.
We do cut right into the action here, and that action is an old man yelling at a young man to get off his fucking lawn.
That's right. The old guard, McCready is his name, is extremely disappointed to see the young guard, Dennis, listening to music on his Walkman instead of paying attention, and lets him know it.
You're being paid to work around here, not to sit around and blast your eardrums.
He's been working at the studio for years, decades in fact, and has many stories to tell. Dennis has already heard them multiple times, though, so he's positively delighted when McCready gets summoned to their boss's office. He's going to do a walkthrough of the basement himself while McCready's away, and it appears deserted, at least until Dennis sees a strange green light glowing through the door of a vault. Yes, you heard me. The light is glowing through the solid steel door of the vault before he opens it. And if that doesn't make sense to you, just wait. There's more coming.
Oh, goodness. And we know this Dennis character was warned not to head down the steps where he finds this vault. The old man was clearly keeping something from him. I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty excited to find an unlocked vault full of glowing green.
It is unlocked, which you pointed out immediately.
I was like...
It's never locked, apparently.
Why would you not lock this vault if you have something dangerous behind it that you don't want others to find? Like, we find out quickly that the old man has been keeping what's behind the vault there for 30 years. Why is it not locked?
Well, even if it wasn't something dangerous that the old man's hiding, it's hobgoblins, by the way, spoiler alert. If it was something valuable, you'd lock the vault.
Yeah, it makes no sense for it to be open. It also made no sense for it to be glowing green. The shocking part is, though, it's not glowing green, yet every time they show the character's face, his face is glowing green. They couldn't actually manage an effect that showed green coming out from behind the door because it is a solid locked vault door.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's kind of bullshit. He does open the door, and what happens to our Dennis character here?
Well, he hears some noises that kind of draw him in. It's like a weird combination of growling and tittering. So he walks in a little further, and suddenly Dennis finds himself on a stage with bright lights, a shimmering backdrop, and microphone dead center. With dreams of stardom dancing through his head, Dennis steps up to the stage, posing and twirling, and then tragically falling off, disappearing into the audience. Ready for the twist, though? McCready finds him lying on the floor of the vault, blood pouring from his head and most likely dead. It was all a hallucination, Noel. A terrible, low-budget hallucination. Who or what could possibly be behind this?
Oh, my
Again,
goodness.
It's the Hobgoblins.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out as we cut to the title.
That's right. Yeah.
Hobgoblins comes flashing across the screen. I don't know what a hobgoblin is.
It's like a goblin, but furry.
Is that's what it is? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it is just a rip-off of Gremlins.
Shameless.
Yeah.
Shameless Gremlins rip-off.
And they are clearly puppets at times when they're moving their mouth, and yet other times they are stuffed animals.
Just
the characters are just
a child's
like
toy.
fucking tossing around the screen.
It's real bad. Yeah, this is what we knew coming in. Well, this is what
I didn't know coming in. I expected a little more from this. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I mean, the old man finds Dennis dead. His dreams of rock stardom led to him breaking his neck in the vault there. He just closes the vault with the corpse there. I was wondering whether the hobgoblins ate him afterwards or if, like, the old man comes and cleans up the body, because we don't ever find out.
We don't. In fact, the next time we see McCready, he's getting reamed out by his boss for letting another young guard quit. So I guess, he's covered it up at least.
This is the third time this has happened in the last several months, so we know that they keep hiring guards, young guards who die to the hobgoblins. And I wasn't sure whether McCready was, like, feeding the guards to him. He was like, don't go down there, guys. And then
Dennis pisses him off by not paying attention, and he's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, let him go get eaten. Like, it doesn't seem that way, although he does kind of just let our next character we're going to meet go deal with shit on his own.
No. That's not true at all. I completely disagree.
All right.
One thing I know for sure is that despite McCready's protestations that he can handle the job himself, the boss tells him to find someone new for the night watch, or he'll find 2 new people. Sounds like it's time to meet our protagonist. So Kevin, come on down.
Yeah, this is the main character of our story now. He looks almost like a young version of McCready here. He's sort of a more mild-mannered than Dennis. He's not like rocking out on a Walkman. He's got notes ready. He's anxious to do a good job.
Yeah, clean-cut kid, good attitude. Just a breath of fresh air compared to that douchebag Dennis. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he's eager to work and happy to hear McCready's old stories. But it's not just stories he's getting from McCready. There's also a warning to stay out of one section of the studio. Can't say why, but just trust him. And after they head back outside, Kevin is also offered some basic firearm training on the world's least realistic revolver. This thing is clearly a cap gun. Kevin would never be able to stop a hobgoblin with that, let alone a gremlin. God help him if they're on the prowl.
Well, what about an intruder to the studio?
We'll find out. Perhaps.
You're right, this gun is laughable, just like most of the effects and costuming and puppetry in this fucking film.
They didn't have a lot of budget.
No.
I thought we made that clear.
No, they didn't.
But that's what we got to work with here, so.
It's what we got. So where do we go from gun training?
Well, it's time to meet our supporting characters now. Basically, your garden variety 80s teen stereotypes. There's the slut, the prude, horn dog military guy, and of course the awkward nerd who calls phone sex lines to hear tantalizing offers like these.
I'm going to see a movie today. I want you to show up and make it rated X. Pull me down and roll me on those sticky floors. Lick that artificial butter flavor off my body. Hold, please.
These are allegedly Kevin's friends, but they're all kind of shitty. Like, the prude chastises him for interrupting her conversation with the military guy. The nerd is running up his phone bill with all these sex line calls. And Mr. Military is eager to assert his dominance in the way that all guys did in the 80s. I'm talking about gardening tool combat, Noel. Mano a mano.
Oh, my God.
Grab your rake. We're settling this the old-fashioned way.
You were right, his friends are shitty. Even more shitty is his girlfriend.
She's the prude.
The prude is supposed to be his girlfriend, and he's like doing everything to impress her and be kind to her. And she keeps kind of looking at this military guy with like eyes that say she'd like some.
Yeah, she got the me eyes going.
Yeah, and she keeps like comparing her boyfriend to him, and this is why he ends up battling the military guy in a rake versus
she talks him into it.
Here.
Yeah.
She pressures him. He does not want to be in a battle with the military guy. He has no like combat training as far as we know, and
no gardening training either.
No, we get some really bad hoe versus rake kind of setup here, and every time they bonk the stupid tools together,
oh, the music
and sound effect we get is just like fuck
on
me.
every single strike. And they do this for like 3 straight minutes. It's unbelievable.
It's a very long sequence that was like baffling and upsetting at the same time. Getting humiliated and then yelled at by his girlfriend, and then the slutty girl going and having sex with the military guy in their van to squeaking sounds.
No, I was gonna mention, man, after getting thoroughly emasculated by the military guy, who then goes off to nail his girlfriend in that van, we get the squeaking sounds as it rocks back and forth. Kevin's girlfriend, Prudy, finishes the job by basically telling him that he embarrassed her out there, and her vagina has never been drier. But if she could see him in action that night when some greaser tries to break onto the studio lot, oh, baby, that'd get the faucet running.
I'm not sure. It seems like she would prefer to be with a less clean cut and more like biker style man, as we're going to find out a little bit later. But
she wants a dirtbag is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's more where my window of opportunity lies.
Good transition to the lot again. Now we're back. I hinted at this earlier. They are watching cameras and they see someone sneaking onto the lot. We've got your traditional 70s West Side Story greaser.
You might kind of like a punk vibe going also. I thought it was a greaser at first, but I mean, leather jacket and the hair, you can't really tell.
I mean, they are adding a bit of punk culture into this movie. I'm guessing that the writer also had his hands in kind of a punk subgenre. Like he probably spent some time around clubs or doing something, because they actually get a legitimate punk band to play some music in here a little bit later.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking some of those kind of things are inspired by that. But so we get this punky kind of greaser-esque guy coming into the lot. He is confronted by the old man. The old man drives up to him in the golf cart, tells him to leave, and quickly gets grabbed and a knife to his throat.
You forgot to mention this happens like 30 seconds after he tells Kevin, I'll handle this, you stay here. 30 seconds later, the guy's at knife point, just completely subdued.
Yeah. But Kevin is like, I can't let this stand. He sees on the monitor that his old man, the guy teaching him the ways of the night watch, is subdued. So he grabs this little cap gun and he runs over to go confront the evildoer. I
think he gets there faster than the old man in the golf cart did.
He did.
That's a recurring theme in this, is Kevin like being way faster than the old man. At times just to like slow himself down so he's not pulling a mile ahead of him.
I mean, if you spent the last 30 years of your life keeping those hobgoblins locked up in a closed down studio, you'd be getting a little bit slow in the legs too.
Sore knees, your feet would hurt.
I kind of was hoping we'd see the old man's dream scenario, and we never got it. I was like a little bit hoping the hobgoblins would get him.
Or do we get it at the end?
Oh, I don't know. Is this your theory? Okay, I'm excited.
They're all still under the. We'll get
it's
there
all
at the
a
end.
dream. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Kevin does get there in time to save the old man. He scares this guy away by firing his cap gun into the air, then goes on a walkabout while McCready takes a moment to compose himself. But like Dennis before him, Kevin hears strange noises coming from the vault and radios McCready to tell him he's going to check it out. Now, unlike with Dennis, McCready, fearing that the studio is about to lose its most promising employee of the last 30 years, races down there as fast as he can, which again is not very fast.
It's another shuffle.
Oh, fuck. Same shot as before. Still, he does get there in time to stop Kevin from entering the vault, but sadly not in time to stop something from escaping. We'll see exactly what it was in a second, and oh my God, is it incredible.
Yeah, so
it's the Hobgoblins. Again, this is just, but we get to see them, and it's truly remarkable.
That's true. We didn't mention this before. They were hiding the Hobgoblins from us. So the first 30 minutes of this film, we know there's something in there, and we don't know what they look like.
God, it is 30 minutes, eh?
Yeah.
They take their time.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
This is not a long film. It's under 90 minutes.
Right there in that sexy part of the curve.
Right in that sweet zone. So at least, I don't know, I was just going to say at least we can't blame them at padding, but I'm not sure that that's true. So we're leading up to this big reveal. We have the green light coming out again. Old man McCready saves Kevin before he can get taken over by the Hobgoblins, but they get out. We see them get out onto the studio a lot again. They're not using a lot of sets here. They don't have a lot to work with.
They got about 3.
Yeah, they have 3 total. We've got the studio lot. We've got
Kevin's
house, and we've got
the club that we go to later.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit briefly, but we're going to head to Club Scum in a little bit. Great name, by the way. They are walking back to the booth when we get this hilarious scene and shot of what looks like a car approaching to run them over.
It's the golf cart.
It's the Hobgoblins have taken over the fucking golf cart.
They're barely moving. They cannot. There's no animatronics.
No.
Like you said, it's like puppets or stationary stuffed animals.
And there's 4 of them in this golf cart just driving right at them. And the old man and Kevin get out of the way, no problem. They easily sidestep this golf cart and the Hobgoblins drive past and then disappear. Disappeared into the night, I guess. And now we got a problem. Hobgoblins are loose from the studio, and old man McCready says he's too old to go chasing his ass after them.
We do have a problem, and McCready's the only one who knows how much of a problem it'll be.
Those creatures, the vault, all my work. 30 years I've been trying to prevent this from happening.
To prevent what from happening?
Those creatures, why do you think I spent the last 30 years of my life here? I was keeping them from escaping.
Turns out he originally discovered the Hobgoblins on the lot some 30 years ago when their spaceship, that's right, spaceship, these are space Hobgoblins, crashed down to Earth. These things aren't just noticeable Gremlins ripoffs. They also have the ability to fulfill people's wildest fantasies, or at least create the illusion that they've had. But as we've seen with Dennis, this often has terrible, tragic consequences. So because McCready's too old, Kevin's going to have to track these things down, or God help us all. Good thing for him they head straight to his house, huh?
Holy shit. This whole explanation scene is pretty epic. The flashback we get when we get young McCready.
But I swear that young McCready is the actual age of the actor, and they're aging him out. Because when we first see old McCready, I'm like, are those eyebrows fake? And I think they are.
I don't know. I was kind of feeling like they just dyed his hair to
You thought it was the opposite.
Young. Although I agree with you, the eyebrows are played up in the old McCready scenes.
So's the shuffling.
You think he can't move that well? Yeah.
Just the number of takes they probably didn't do a lot of takes, but just to make the actor move, although they also reuse the shots. I'm talking about this as I'm trying to make the argument.
No, he just moves that well. That's just who he is at this point. Or maybe he's playing an old man really well. Maybe I'm not giving the actor who played McCready a lot of credit.
No,
here.
I think you are.
Yeah,
I think it's
so. Like you said, McCready can't go anywhere, and Kevin has to deal with this problem. But fortunately for Kevin, these things are drawn to bright light. And guess where there's some bright lights?
At his house, where his friends are having like a little party.
They're having a dance party with a strobe light, and all the Hobgoblins show up to help start making his friend's wildest dreams come true.
They do, but if your wildest dreams include generic, lyricless 80s soundtrack music, they've already come true when the scene starts, buddy. We get it. It is just an 80s beat. There are no words. They clearly generated this just for the movie. But yes, the Hobgoblins arrive. One of them has a horn that makes the exact same sound of the military guy's van horn we heard earlier, despite that being something it would have had no knowledge of, or just like an absurd coincidence. But it lures the slutty girl outside, where the hobgoblin immediately pounces on her. Now, this is one of the ones that is clearly just a child's stuffed toy. But seeing this actress gamely try to simulate this thing attacking her as she just rolls around the ground, fuck, dude. Like, I was laughing, you not so much. This is wildly, unbelievably bad, but I dug it.
It was terrible. I'm confused whether the hobgoblins can do physical damage to the people, because not a single person had a bite mark or scratch or problem when they were interacting with the puppets.
Well, but also, why attack them physically if you
when
can just make
mentally
them...
die?
Yeah.
So that part was problematic for me. I was like, is it trying to have sex with her? I know she's the loosest of the people in here. Like, I was confused. It had been locked up for 30 years, so if
but there's other hobgoblins. When they're in the golf cart, two of them are holding hands, so clearly hobgoblins can get together and they're all coming from somewhere.
Well, and the weird part was
the spaceship only had two.
Yeah, so clearly they had
a whole bunch of kids.
But one looked like a baby and the other a parent.
Sure.
Our hobgoblins don't respect the lines of like family.
Listen, man,
incest.
alien species, we don't know.
We don't know if incest is a thing amongst the aliens.
Well, how could we? I've never met a fucking space hobgoblin.
That's fair. I guess if anyone in the audience has any thoughts on hobgoblin incest, feel free to.
Don't shame the hobgoblin community.
I apologize.
Don't project your colonial
beliefs about. I think that's a biological.
Now who's
imperative.
the prude? Also, by the way, now who's the prude?
Yeah,
you're criticizing Kevin's girlfriend, and now you're the one here telling hobgoblins they can't bone their own brothers or sisters.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't believe I would do that.
Wow, really off brand for you.
And Halloween is all about embracing things beyond what we expect. So and
isn't that the message of this movie in a way?
We've derailed here.
This movie is completely ridiculous. No, this girl seemingly kills this hobgoblin.
I thought it was dead. She fucking smokes it with the hoe.
No, it's just stunned.
The hoe uses a hoe to smoke the goblin, and I thought it was over.
No, but as soon as she re-enters the house, this thing is right behind her, and it brought company. And before long, multiple hobgoblins are attacking these three college-ish kids on their couch. The whole scene is completely absurd, and it ends with the military guy showing up to rescue them with an assist from Kevin, who arrives a few seconds later. They manage to get these things out of the house, and everything seems okay, although Kevin is quick to double-check.
You sure you're all okay? I mean, you don't feel anything different, do you? And none of you have a desire to do anything you've never done before, right?
Well, actually, I did want to try this new Chinese restaurant that I heard about.
Boo.
The acting here is atrocious.
Yes.
Like
all the way through.
All the way through acting is bad, but in this impassioned speech Kevin is giving and the responses from his friends after they're attacked by the hobgoblins, it is notably worse. Or they're setting this up to be a like solid scene, and it falls so fucking flat. I can't believe it.
Really? You can't believe it after everything we've seen so far?
Well, I guess I can believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely, I'm infuriated. I'm also really angry because they have gotten the hobgoblins out of the house into the van.
Oh, the military guy's van.
The military van, they're all in there. Yet they don't do anything to try to trap them in there. They just assume the hobgoblins are going to stay in there because the doors are closed.
I had this question, though, later in the movie. I'm not convinced the characters can see the hobgoblins. There's times when I'm like, how could they not see these things are there? And are the hobgoblins like casting their illusion to
but
be
how
like,
are they
the van's
not
empty?
But they're fighting them off and hitting them with things.
Yeah, but
and
then
they
they
have them
leave.
in their
I don't know.
arms. Like they know that they have them trapped in the van. Why aren't they doing something to like try to kill them or remove them? Or
I don't know
keep
they
them
know they have them
trapped?
trapped in the van. That's my whole thing.
Really?
There are times when I'm like, how do these people not see the like multiple hobgoblins? And that I guess.
Well, and this is the part that's really frustrating is there's times where they could have dealt with this situation very easily, and then they ignore or make choices that open the door for there to be continued problems. And I know that's a necessity for this movie to continue, but it was frustrating to me because I was like, holy shit, this is insane. Now you're just going to go talk and let the hobgoblins escape and then have to deal with them at your third set location because that's all you got.
Yeah, it's almost like this is a terrible movie with a really bad script. I don't know. It's
One
strange,
man
right?
project. You know what? I don't want to shit on the one guy who made this.
What was his name? Rick Sloan?
Yeah, it's a Sloan production, but I like one man stuff. I think
Your Rudy
that
Ray
is cool.
Moores, your YK
Yes.
Kims.
I think that's fantastic. Who's the other guy who always fucks people?
He'll come
in
up later.
movies?
I'm going to
all
mention
right,
him later. Yeah.
All right, so he'll come back too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a little bit because I think that they are important. I think that it's good that people have an idea and they push forward. If your idea is
Do you
ripped
still feel
off
that
from
way after this
Gremlins-
movie, though? I was gonna say.
Maybe you need to add a little more to it. Also trying to maintain like a PG-13 vibe in this style of movie.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Well,
That's
we're
going to
gonna
affect
talk
my-
about that soon.
No.
Okay. All right.
Everyone's okay now. Like you said, the hobgoblins are out. They're in the van. Everyone's fine. So the nerd goes to call his girlfriend.
Oh, shit.
And after more of the usual phone shenanigans, the appearance of a grinning hobgoblin standing beside him causes the phone sex worker to tell him to stop wasting his time and money on calls because she's right outside the house. And believe it or not, when the nerd heads outside, there she is, decked out in leopard print spandex and big 80s hair.
I have two questions for you.
Go for it.
The first
Why
one
is there a wolf howl when we see her?
I kind of love the wolf howl, actually.
Me too.
I thought that was pretty fantastic. Are sex lines still a thing?
Sure.
People still call in and like have
Absolutely.
people talk sexy stuff to them,
I'm sure they do.
even with the internet.
Sorry, I should rephrase that.
He's
I'm
absolutely positive.
pretty confident they do.
100% sure that these still exist because I'm not going to go into the depth of it.
Some of us are old fashioned.
Yeah,
Some
some people like an old
976 skag and just
Just
roll the dice
enjoy
with
a
whoever
lady talk
answers.
to. So when he goes outside, we have a smoke machine. She appears out of it. She walks out, like you said, and there's a wolf howl to
Yeah.
and
It's like a Def Leppard music video.
and I think music video might have inspired some of what we see in
Sure,
this.
man, of
for
course.
sure. It
88,
feels
yeah.
like a fucked up Scooby-Doo at times too.
There's a lot of connections you can make here.
Yeah,
None of them good.
No, they're not. But now,
Sorry, none of them pulled off well.
so now she's telling him they have to head off to what was it called?
Reputation Road.
Reputation Road. Where
It's clearly marked by the signs.
Yeah. The signs are hand painted by the crew of this movie and stuck on a like extra piece of like what?
Thick cardboard.
Yeah.
it's not a strong sign. No, man. Kevin
Oh, my
Kevin
God.
figures out where he's going, immediately chases after them. He knows something's wrong. He does, in fact, get to Reputation Road just in time to save the nerd. His dream woman convinces him to drive right up to the edge of the cliff where he can get the best view, and then tells him,
Just hold tight and get ready for the ride of your life.
Do it to me.
she nearly does too, and she tries to push the car over and is only stopped when Kevin kills the hobgoblin that's created in this fantasy. Only you pointed this out, and I don't understand it either. This lady is a hallucination, but when Kevin tries to hit her with a rake, she stops it. How is that possible? She's in part of his fantasy.
Yeah, I had trouble with what was like reality versus fantasy in this. And what seemed to be happening in almost all of their hallucinations was that the things actually had some sort of physical space, even though they weren't real.
Yeah, they were like corporeal somehow.
Yes, it was almost
Yeah.
like ghosts that could interact with people, but they were brought on by the desires of the person who was hallucinating. We get this
So
later.
you like hallucinate them into reality,
yes,
essentially. Okay.
exactly.
I don't know.
And in that case, it could be really good for the people hallucinating if that were true.
Yeah, you made that lady real.
That's
And then
yeah.
you're just inside her.
I mean, Kyle would have loved that. It seems like he's never.
He thought it was going to
experienced that.
happen. It was not going to
It
happen.
was not going to
Yeah.
happen. She did offer to blow him if he sat there at the right spot. So that for him.
Yeah,
was,
but then she was lying.
Yeah, absolutely, she was.
Yeah.
It was just a hobgoblin tricking him to push. None
Instead
of
of
this
a
is scary.
knobgoblin.
Oh Jesus Christ! That is what he wanted, wasn't it?
That's exactly right. No, man, this is just. I agree though. The rules of this universe are kind of inexplicable.
They're not clear.
No,
They're
and-
not
and-
clear.
And speaking of inexplicable things, the car still ends up going over the edge and, of course, exploding. You love that, as I recall.
I was angry.
Yeah.
I actually was surprised that they could afford to throw a car over the edge and to strap that much explosive into it to blow up for the actual scene.
I feel like I've seen that footage before.
Oh,
I'm
you think
I'm
it's not even the
convinced
same
that was
scene?
the
Yeah,
original. Maybe
that's
it was.
hilarious.
I don't know. You know what? Maybe they get some
It was
decent
the
effects in
same
later.
car. It was the same car. So
Yeah.
I think they shelled quite a bit of budget. That came right out of Sloane's pocket to fucking blow up that car.
Worth it.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, they're able to head back to the house in the car that Kevin drove. When they get there, though, another hobgoblin pulls Kevin into the military guy's van, but he and the nerd are able to dispatch it after a few seconds of it hovering above him, again, completely motionless. And this is where I wrote down that the practical effects in this movie make Mac and me look like Jurassic Park.
That is such a mean and amazing comparison.
Because we thought Mac and Me was shit when we
Oh,
watched that.
absolutely.
This is so much worse than that.
Way worse. This is close to, if not the worst practical effect movie we have seen on the podcast.
Well, again, you're just throwing a stuffed animal at somebody. Like you said, Attack of the Beast Creatures was a terrible...
That's a low bar for me.
Very low budget,
Yeah, low bar for me.
regional movie,
Yeah.
and the effects in that were better than this.
Better, yeah, absolutely.
That's bad.
The actual creatures themselves, like...
No. What are you about to say?
Well...
You're not going to give them a compliment. Stop it.
They're not good, but they're not... Like, they're clearly ripoffs of the Gremlins, but they look enough like Gremlins to probably draw in an audience when you see the picture on a, like, sleeve or in a poster, right?
Some kid would be like, they made a second Gremlin before Gremlins 2, and we get all excited.
And then it'd be, yeah, and that would work, right?
Mommy, Daddy, Gremlins, and he gives it to the parents, and the parents are like, all right, we can rent this.
Well,
and then
this
they
is
get home
why
and
it's
they're like,
PG-13
fuck you,
too,
Tyler.
right? This
Yeah.
is why it's PG-13, and we're going to
It's
get
for
angry
kids.
at this
I
later.
agree, yeah. After the dust settles here, the military guy and his loose girlfriend are okay. But Kevin's prude girlfriend is headed out for the night, which is unusual. And even more unusual, she's headed to Club Scum, a sparsely populated night spot that looks like what someone who's never seen a John Waters movie would assume a club in a John Waters movie would be like. There's an assortment of odd characters, a wet t-shirt contest, and donkey mud wrestling, or so says the club's vaguely Mortician-like MC. It's also got a 4-minute live performance from the Fontanelles, which is a punk band that you mentioned. And they're okay, but as far as movie bar performances go, they are number 2 at best behind John DeHart doing the shimmy slide and champagne and bullets. That's the other guy you were talking about.
I do miss John DeHart. I would not be opposed if we could watch
Another John DeHart movie? How are we going to find those fucking movies?
Is that the challenge? Is we can't get them?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh, the internet, maybe.
All right, well, we got to figure this
Let's
out.
put our friend who recommended Birdemic on it.
All right.
That guy is
gonna
all
be
over
able
the
to find
internet.
this.
He's got
for us.
time.
He's going to be able to find this.
Can you get every John DeHart movie? Just like queue up for it?
And then come watch him with us.
Yeah,
we're
we're
going to
gonna-
bring some friends in for this because I feel like it's something that needs to be done in a crew. And right now, a crew is headed to Club Scum to help save Amy. She's in trouble, so the rest
Is that her
of-
name?
Yeah,
Amy? I didn't get any of their names
Yeah, it's
except
Amy.
Kevin.
Amy's
Great.
gone to the club and she's in trouble.
Well, it depends on what your definition of trouble is, I guess.
Well, that's true.
She's about to live out her deepest fantasy, which apparently was to lose her inhibitions and take her clothes off on stage, which she does here while clearly under Hobgoblin control.
I want you to treat me like dirt. Spill your drinks on me. Show everyone that I'm not wearing any underwear.
And I've got a message for this character. Stop stealing my moves.
Oh, God. This is quite a turn for her. She was the prudish character who was bossing around her boyfriend, Kevin, and now she's looking to have any kind of swill dumped all over her so she can experience the life that she really wants. You mentioned that the performance from that band was only second to John DeHart. I wanted to come back to that for a second. I actually think that performance might be the best part of this movie.
Again, low bar.
I know.
For me, it's
I
the
know.
Hobgoblin attacking that one girl on the lawn.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then
that's
her
fair,
rolling
that's
around
fair.
with it.
But it's
Killed me.
actually a decent new wave / punk band.
They're not bad, like
and
I
the
said, yeah.
performance is pretty good. I think that brings some credibility to this. It was making me think back, what's the other movie we watched where it just felt like they were trying to get a performance out of a band into the movie? We watched quite a few music-related films.
Voyage of the Rock Aliens?
Well, kind of, but that band was really...
Streets of Fire?
Yeah, Streets of Fire kind of felt that way, too.
The Jazz Singer with Neil Diamond? Was that the one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, we haven't brought up that movie in a while.
I love The Jazz Singer.
I mean, I didn't.
I know.
And Neil Diamond is questionable to me.
Stop it.
He has some hits.
I'm going to pull you around and rewatch Saving Silverman for this podcast.
Oh, are we really going to do that?
Why not?
All right.
We'll find a silver beer. We'll fucking drink Coors Light if we have to.
The silver bullet.
I smell a bonus episode for that.
That does sound fair. And I mean, we've talked about my change in genealogy, so we can.
All right, fair enough. I'm assuming you took some enjoyability points off here since there wasn't any actual nudity.
Absolutely. Well, and I don't know if it's straight nudity, but the having to keep this PG-13 kept it from getting to places that would have been exciting or fun. And I know creating gore on a tight budget is hard, but I think it would have lent itself to a better movie here.
Oh, well, that again, I feel like we've discussed many instances where that's almost always true.
Why keep a movie like this PG-13 if you are not trying to get Gremlins?
No, you
cash?
are. You're
like,
trying
that's
to get
the only
yeah.
thing you're trying to do is get Gremlins cash. If you want any kind of credibility here, if you're trying to write and create a movie that people are going to enjoy, you're pushing this well beyond a PG-13 rating.
No, I'm with you for sure. But while we may not get any boobs here, we do get a large amount of chaos as the Hobgoblins run amok in this bar. People are acting out their wildest fantasies, including the military guy who basically goes full Rambo, strapping on an ammo belt, tying a red bandana around his head, and setting off multiple grenades. Of course, we'll never know for sure whether these were real explosions or just a hallucination, but the fact that all the other patrons run out of the bar would seem to indicate maybe. Also, this is a long sequence.
It's way too long. It's a giant fucking mess. Kevin's trying to stop it. The whole time his girlfriend is trying to have sex with the greasy bouncer. Right?
Yeah.
She's offering herself up to him. We've got Rambo-y Nick just throwing grenades everywhere, and we have a lot of explosion effects happening. Again, a lot of the budget's going to that. Everyone is in fucking trouble here, right? Like nothing is going well. But we have a chance here for Kevin and his buddies to start taking down or knocking out the Hobgoblins to stop these hallucinations. It's the only way his girlfriend's not going to have sex with the greasy bouncer. It's the only way that Nick isn't going to blow everyone up in his fucking dreams.
Yeah, and they do kill a couple of Hobgoblins, which snaps the prude back to reality. But weirdly, Nick, the military dude, is still going full Rambo, much to the delight of his sergeant, who randomly just happens to be at this club.
He's a part of the whole hallucination. He's not actually there.
I think he is actually there.
I think he's a part of the hallucination. I think that is the start of Nick's hallucination.
Again, we'll never know. This is a part of the movie. We will never know. This guy is claiming while he's there that Nick's hallucination is the best possible training, or maybe he just likes watching dudes get blown up. As he throws the live grenade down and orders Nick to dive on it, which he does, exploding into a ball of flame, or rather a human body shape of flame. We get the full stuntman on a fire treatment here, which is actually pretty sweet. Now, this frees up the military guy's girlfriend to join the USO and perform for a truckload of troops, but she decides she'd rather just jam a grenade down the sergeant's jacket and watch him go boom as well. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess this was your favorite part of the movie. Scathing takedown of the military. Seems like it's right up your alley.
No, I wasn't upset to hear that this woman was not forced to have sex with a van of military people, but I was sort of like shocked by how ridiculous this scene got. They went way too far with having the Hobgoblins have their way here. Thankfully for us, though, as an audience, Kevin and the others start to knock them out and get them in control. They managed to get these Hobgoblins into the van again and stop the chaos that was happening at this club.
Do they get them in the van again? I thought the grenade that blew up that sergeant also blows up the last remaining Hobgoblins, because this is where I lose track of whether they can see them or not, because the 4 remaining friends get back into the van, safe and sound, ready to move forward, having learned a great deal during their ordeal. Only it turns out they're just hallucinating the success and personal growth as the van is full of Hobgoblins.
So it's not clear. Like,
No, it's not.
Hobgoblin power is a fucking mess.
Also not clear, where are all these Hobgoblins coming from?
Where are they coming from? I thought there was only 4
how many
of
are
them.
there?
I thought there
No.
was only 4.
They've killed 4 just in this bar.
But did they actually die? Like, we haven't seen any of them die. There's no blood on them. They're just
What is reality?
They're just a stuffed
Do
animal.
we know
laying
anything
on the
about this
ground.
movie?
We have no
I don't
fucking
know.
clue. Yeah.
Well, listen, I may not know what is real and where all the Hobgoblins are coming from, but I do know where they're going, and that's back to the studio lot where Mr. McCready is pleading with his boss to call the police or do something to stop the alien creature's rampage.
Are you going to try to tell me that same story about the Hobgoblins again?
Yes, sir. I'm glad you still remember about them.
How could I forget that nonsense? Now get out of here and get back to work.
Seriously, how on earth could he have possibly forgotten hearing about this? On the surface, it's a batshit crazy thing to hear. Like, you don't forget that one of your employees is a complete lunatic.
I mean, the boss is the worst character in this entire movie, and that's saying a whole fucking lot.
That is a bold statement.
Yeah. Awful performance. We're in like a terrible room with garbage posted on the wall, and the desk looks very unrealistic for a CEO. I don't know. The guy sucks
CEO of
ass.
what? An abandoned movie
true.
studio?
I don't know why he's still there. His diatribes and his scolding of this old man are always terrible. I think that if we were looking for padding in this movie, almost every single time he comes up, it would be an argument from me.
He does repeat himself a lot, but I wonder if he's actually there to make the old man look like less of a bad actor and like more sympathetic.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. You want to go along with the guard guy, try to understand why he's been there 30 years holding some hobgoblins inside of an unlocked fucking vault.
Yeah. Has the studio been closed for 30 years?
It sounds like it closed right after the hobgoblins arrived because they made everybody kind of go nutty. But
who keeps that property for 30 years?
After
this old angry boss, I guess.
Yeah, the old angry boss is there, and then just the same night guard who's been there, the night watchman.
So many questions
forever.
about this.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. No.
Here's something else that doesn't make any sense. Once Kevin and the gang arrive at the studio, he tries to find Mr. McCready. Before he can, a familiar face emerges from the shadows. It's that punk who Kevin scared off with a cap gun earlier. You know, the one who was breaking onto the lot? This guy's back for revenge and proposing the only sane way to settle their differences: nunchuck battle. Sure beats gardening tools, doesn't it?
I guess so. This guy throws a set of nunchucks at Kevin, and then
what a gentleman! He could have just used them both. He has two sets.
Yeah.
Could have used them both to just fucking speedbag Kevin.
But he's a gentleman because this is Kevin's fantasy. We know what's happening here.
Yeah.
We know what's happening here. Kevin is going to show his ultimate skill to his girlfriend so that the dryness of her can turn into a bit of a flowing river. It's taken a while, but she's loosened up at the club, and it's time for there to maybe be a splashdown in Kevin's life.
Seems like it, yeah. But although he might be better at the nunchucks, that is no match for the gun that this guy pulls out. So Kevin closes his eyes and looks away, afraid to face his impending death. But when we hear a gun go off, it's not the one belonging to this greaser. It's Mr. McCready returning the favor from earlier. Only he didn't fire into the air. Instead, he put a bullet right into a hobgoblin's chest. The punk dude disappears, of course, being a part of Kevin's hallucination, and the remaining hobgoblins flee back into the studio. Old man McCready's not done saving the day yet, though. He's got a plan to get rid of these things once and for all. What's the move here, Noel?
Well, he's going to do a bit of shuffling.
Always.
Yeah, he's going to do a bit of shuffling. Yeah, every day he's shuffling. He tells Kevin there's got to be a better way. And Kevin gets a little bit of a kiss from Amy here. She says that she's got
He gets a lot of a kiss. She plants one on him.
She tells him she's got something planned for him. So maybe this hallucination worked for her in the way that we described earlier. Our old night watchman doesn't want to saddle Kevin with the next 30 years of watching these hobgoblins. So he shuffles his way into the area to make sure the hobgoblins are there, and then leaves and tells Kevin that his old military expertise, where did it used to lie?
Explosives. He was a fucking, incendiary devices. I don't know. There's a fucking name for it, but I forget it right now.
Yeah, so he was responsible for weapons and explosives back in the day. He was sort of an ammunitions expert, and what we see him do is explode the vault and the entire floor that it's on. So we have to assume the hobgoblins are toast now?
Well, okay, but I was confused about this because I swear at the beginning he tells Dennis not to go down to the vault. When they had this explosion, it's on the top floor of this studio building. I'm like, what fucking floor is this?
Maybe there's a penthouse and we didn't see it in the shot. We know that we're working with loose details here, but I agree with you. There's something fucked about what part of the building explodes.
Yeah, I mean, again, it lines up with the rest of this movie, so who the fuck knows? But with that, the hobgoblins are dead, we assume, and McCready calls his boss to let him know there's been an explosion at the studio.
Yes, I realize what time it is. I'm sorry to wake you, sir, but the film vault blew up. Oh, yes, I realize about the insurance, but you fired me earlier. There was no one on duty when it happened.
And that's how we end things, with an old man heading to jail for the rest of his life. He blew the studio up. The guy's going to assume that McCready did it.
Well, there's no proof. How are you going to prove
He
this?
blew it up for real. There probably is proof.
We're in the 80s here. They don't have the same kind of DNA
Oh,
tracking
fair.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like this old man's walking away into retirement now. He's been fired. He doesn't care if insurance is covering it. But you know what he's really done? He's saved the world from having their greatest fantasies fulfilled in their final moments.
God bless him. No, I actually said that was the last thing, but there is one more bit we get here after the credits. That phone sex lady shows back up to deliver a personal message from the director.
Just remember, the next time you see a movie that's only rated PG, I want you to make it rated X.
Before the popcorn in front of her explodes out of his container. Innuendo much or what?
So much innuendo. It's a strange thing, right? Because you're making a movie that you're trying to capitalize on Gremlins. You're trying to get children to watch it. And then you're telling them that they should be each other's in the movie.
Or at least the lady when this lady talks to you in her throaty voice.
Yeah, which is really kind of a strange message to be sending along there. Just make a titillating film.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, go all the way with it. Again, you said earlier, why dance around it?
Yeah.
Have this chick show up at the end completely fucking naked.
You could have.
Given the same message. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they just did not go where they needed to. This was a strange attempt by a single human to cash in on Gremlins fame and make their own like Hobgoblin adjacent film to it that just didn't have the flourish that it needed.
But maybe that was his greatest fantasy, Noel. And the Hobgoblins fulfilled it. The director.
The director, this was his fantasy to bore audiences and get some money.
Oh, come on.
All
right. Well, if you're already discussing boredom and general malaise around this movie, then I guess it's a good time to transition to our ratings. The way we always do this, we rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10 two times. 1 to 10 for how bad it is, 1 to 10 for how enjoyable. And the goal is to find movies that are a 10 out of 10 on both scales, or what we call the Crit 20. And I'll just start by saying it would be nearly impossible for me to give this any rating besides a 10 for how bad this movie is. It is like low budget to a comical degree. As we mentioned, they have like 3 set locations in the whole thing. The acting is of a shockingly low caliber. In fact, the only thing that's lower caliber than this acting are the practical effects. Those fucking hobgoblins are just laughable in how blatantly unrealistic they look. They are just puppets or child stuffed animals. And the actors trying to interact with these things, seeming like they're in danger, is like low-key hilarious, like helping my enjoyable rating. But fuck, not for 1 second did any of this look real. I am pretty sure they took the main security guard, McCready, and aged him to make him look older.
Mm-hmm.
But they either did a terrible job or he did a terrible job with the old man shuffling. Either way, this dude just grinds things to a halt when he's on the screen. And fuck, man, again, like it's a real low bar for acting. He's probably holding the bar, McCready is, but all those fucking teenagers, they're very happy to get a piece of that too.
They're terrible.
No, man, this thing was absurd. In terms of like plot structure, movie quality, in all the wrong ways. But I do think it was absurd in some of the right ways, which I'll cover in my enjoyability rating. But yeah, this has to be a 10 bad, I feel. What do you think?
I think I've given away more of my enjoyability rating throughout this than I have my
I'm
bad
assuming
rating.
it's going to be a very low number.
So this is really, really bad. The script is nonsensical. The Hobgoblin's abilities are really bad. What I'm struggling with in some ways, and this might be enjoyability too, is this is supposed to be a horror movie.
It clearly is.
But how do you like fit horror comedy? Because this is 0% scary and like 20% funny to me. So not executing on either of those is really bad. The sets are limited and not good. The acting's terrible. The Hobgoblin puppets are poor. The sound effect overusage is atrocious.
Yeah, like the rake hoe fight scene alone.
Goodness, yeah,
is silly.
But that's just one example of so many examples of them using that to try to create what they want, and it does not go well. This is a 10 bad movie.
Yeah, it gotta be.
Easily.
But how enjoyable did you find it on a scale of 1 to 10?
So there are times where I laughed at how bad it was, which is the point of this podcast, particularly when the hobgoblins were in frame and the people were fighting with them. I actually quite like the performance from the punk band that was there, and when their music was inserted throughout as a soundtrack, I thought that was good. Taken away by the excessive like sound effect usage for sure in there. The old guy was okay, and I laughed by the end at his shuffle. The moving shuffle became a laughing joke for me.
Yeah.
But I did not enjoy this very much. I felt like it was slow. I felt like the performances were poor. I felt like PG-13 was a stupid idea for a film like this. This is trying to cash in and not doing it in a fun or enjoyable way. I had this, and maybe this is even generous, I had it as a 4.
Oh, wow. That's one of your lowest enjoyable ratings ever.
I do not give really low enjoyability ratings generally.
That'll probably come up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a waste of time. I would rather watch any Gremlin movie created, even the worst of them.
Well, there's only 2.
So there you go.
It's probably number 2.
In number
You
2
could watch
is
Gremlins
probably
too.
better than
Yeah.
this by a long margin. And maybe part of it is my expectations. I'm really excited every time we watch like an 80s horror movie, and this just let me down so much in many of the ways that I find fun.
Oh, shit, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's terrible news.
It's okay.
Well, whatever. You
Yeah.
know. I didn't fucking make Hobgoblins.
No,
Thank
you
God.
didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I got more enjoyment than you out of this for sure. I thought the scenes with the Hobgoblins, like you said, they're there, they're attacking. Those were fucking hilarious to me. Just so silly. The caliber of acting was bad, although I didn't really like all the characters. Like the military guy for me was kind of a negative. Both of the female characters we got weren't great either. The boss, like you said, was kind of a dick. I think he's supposed to be a dick. He fulfills that role. My biggest problem with this, and it's weird because there were times when I kind of enjoyed the like not knowing what's real, what's not real. But other times, so perfect example, we didn't mention this. At the very end, the fucking military dude who fell in a grenade and got exploded, he was on fire. We saw him like in flames, clearly dead, shows up and he's like alive and he's like, let's go to the van, like to his girlfriend. And they're like, yay. And this is part of where I'm like, this is all who's it has to be. Dude was fucking dead, like exploded. So what is real? At times, like the not knowing was cool, but I think overall, it was a negative for me. I wish the rules of the universe had been kind of more firmly established. Yeah, some weird choices, which is also a double-edged sword, some good, some bad. Clearly, I enjoyed this more than you. It's an absolutely ridiculous movie, and I see why it is held in such low regard. I have this as a 7 enjoyable. For me, this does feel like the ridiculous like 80s horror you would like rent from the video store and have no idea what it is. And maybe you think you're going to get a Gremlins thing, and it ends up being this low quality, nonsensical horse shit. But I get some joy out of that. So for me, it's a 7. I understand where you're coming from, and I won't fight you on it. Yeah, man. Just a legendary bad movie that I feel like it's not a bad thing that we covered.
Oh, I don't think it's bad that we covered it. I don't regret watching it. I just wish that it, I don't know, had have brought more to what it was trying to do. It just felt like it started some things that could be fun or had some interesting ideas, and everything fell really short in a confusing mess.
Well, as the tagline of this movie says, Noel, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
That's fair, but maybe we got something better in the beer we're drinking this week.
I very much enjoyed this beer that we drank this week, but I also enjoyed the movie. So I don't know if it's different or not, but man, I thought this was very, very good. I am a coffee lover, recent coffee lover. I didn't drink coffee for a lot of part of my life, but now I do, and I'm a fan. And as soon as we cracked this, the coffee like scent was just unmistakable. I can tell that cold brew is a part of this process. So for me, very drinkable. Not sure about knocking out a lot of these like in one evening, but really like the coffee flavor. Goes well with the lager, I thought. This was easy to drink, but again, probably couldn't do too many of these in the night. Still really enjoyed it though. For my first Lighthouse beer, I was a fan. I would be interested in finding some more. How about you?
I actually liked it quite a bit. I'm not a coffee drinker, but do enjoy coffee flavors built into like my desserts and beers. I'm used to having them more in
Stouts and porters.
Stout and porter.
We got a couple of those, yeah.
And we've had some of those, and I always really enjoy them. But really clean lager as well, easy to drink with. I do like the bitter notes left by the coffee too. I like that I get a bit of the chocolate a little bit. I didn't get cinnamon.
I didn't either, or hazelnut.
No, but I did like the chocolate bitterness flavors. I would love to try some other Lighthouse Brewing Company beers. And if you're in British Columbia or you see them where you can get beer, I encourage you to do so. Would be a fun visit. I have not been to Vancouver Island in many years. That would be a cool place to go back and to try some beers.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have a hell of a scene out there, right? So we've sampled a few BC beers already, and we got another one coming 2 weeks from now. You know what else we got coming 2 weeks from now?
What?
A big budget, massive blockbuster attempt. It's a Marvel movie, kind of. It's one of the 20th Century Fox ones.
Okay.
We're going to be watching X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, Canadian superhero. I fucking love Wolverine.
Well, we'll see if you still do after we watch this one. This is the much derided.
Is it still Hugh Jackman? Is it Hugh Jackman's Wolverine?
Always.
In the X-Men? Okay. Yeah. Well, then it's not going to be so bad then.
That's her famous last words. We'll put that to the test in 2 weeks, man. This was
all right.
widely, again, just fucking shit on by Marvel fans, X-Men fans, Hugh Jackman fans. It's a bad time.
Okay, all right.
But we'll see, man. You never know. I thought you'd enjoy Hobgoblins more than this. Maybe you'll enjoy X-Men Origins Wolverine more than I'm expecting.
We'll see.
I don't plan on enjoying it very much. We will see, though. That's in 2 weeks' time. Before then, if you haven't already, please follow us on social media at the BMB Podcast.
Feel free to send us emails, thebmbpodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. We always love to hear from you, and we're not even halfway through our 6th season. So if you have requests for a movie you'd like us to cover or a beer you'd like us to try, hit us up, man. Slide into the DMs of those socials or send us an email and let us know what you'd like. We'll try and get on it for you. We got a couple requests coming up soon.
Beautiful. I'm looking forward to those. I always enjoy audience sort of interaction, so that would be wonderful.
Definitely. And thank you for joining us today for Hobgoblins. We hope you'll be back here in 2 weeks' time for X-Men Origins Wolverine. Until then, I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And we'll see you next time on Bad Movies and Beer.
Keep those goblins locked in the vault.
Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.